Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Precision Championship Race Night to you all. Welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network as we bring you live coverage from Homestead Miami Speedway. The Precision Racing League brings you the United Armed Services Oval Series, as tonight they are racing here at Homestead Miami. I am your commentator, Sean Zulu, and I am joined by my good friend and producer, Dave Everly. How are you tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great tonight. How you doing, Sean?
I am doing good too, thank you. Well, Dave, tonight is the most important race of the whole entire season as the season does end tonight. But Dave, start off by telling us about tonight's race, please.
Well, Sean, as you said, we are here at the season finale for the United Armed Services Oval Series, brought to you by Precision Racing League. Taking a look at our weather conditions, we've got an air temperature right about 84, 85 degrees. Track temperature's a little higher. It's sitting about 111, 112 degrees under clear conditions with the wind 9 to 10 mile an hour out of the south.
And as usual, these drivers do have a 60% fuel limit. That is 60%, so they do have to pit at least once in order to be able to make it, but most likely twice, because it is a 125 lap race. And just a recap from last week's race, so the Race of Champions 130 by Trip Morton at Kansas Speedway. We did have the 7 of Dallas Pataska bring it home. The 6 of Steven Mattox came out in second place. The 66 of Charles Paradis came out in third. The 16 of Curtis Aho came out in fourth. 9 of Austin Moore came out in fifth. 28 Eric Roberts sixth. The 59 of David White seventh. 60 Colton Lane eighth. The 13 of Jean-Francois Champagne ninth. And the 3 of Dale Robertson came out in 10th place, which did round up the top 10. And in that race, that we did have some early contact between James O'Brien and Lance Marsh, which did cause a big pileup, followed by the big junk in turn 1, leaving a lot of machines damaged. And green flag pit stops did occur, which did separate and spread out the whole entire field, also putting a lot of drivers a few laps down and actually having some drivers end their nights. And a lot of lead changes occurred as we had Lance Marsh, Steven Mattox, Dallas Pataska, and Curtis battling for the race lead and throughout the entire race. But Dallas Pataska's worst nightmare in that race was the 6 of Steven Mattox, who was nose to tail with him for more than half the race. And Dallas Pataska ended up bringing it home with no pressure from behind. But behind him, Steven Mattox was battling the 66 of Charles Paradis for the second place position, which did bring it down to Dallas Pataska in first, 6 of Mattox second, and the 66 of Charles Paradis in third place. And going over our current season standings, we do have Dallas Pataska still in the lead from Dallas Pataska Motorsports. We have James O'Brien in second place. Still in second place, he is from Underdog Motorsports. And these two drivers are separated by 22 points. We have Charles Paradis in 66 in third in points. He came from fourth place last week. He is from Turn Left Racing. 24 Corey Blevins came from third place last week in points to fourth place this week, having a very, very rough season. But he is from Flat Out Motorsports, an amazing driver. 654 Josh Conker is fifth in points, Underdog Motorsports. Dale Robertson, sixth from Voltage Racing. 16 Curtis Aho from Big D's Racing is seventh. Brandon Massey, the 11 from the Screaming Eagles, he is eighth. The 8 of Steven Aguiar is ninth in points from Team Badweiser. We have 14 of Paul D. Johnson, who is 10th place in points, and he is from Big D's Racing. Actually, 16 Curtis Aho and Brandon Massey, these two drivers are tied for the 7th place position in points. 8 of Aguiar is on the 8th. The 14 of Paul D. Johnson, 9th. And Eric Roberts in the 28 from Ironic Sim Racing will run at the top 10 in points. As right now we have advanced into the gridding mode, so we are going to give these guys a few seconds before we go down that list. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have once again the 7 of Pataska on the pole. The 66 of Charles Paradis second place, starting on the outside. The 6 of Steven Mattox third. 60 Colton Lane fourth. 24 Corey Blevins fifth. We have the 27 of Danny Duchesne sixth. 1 of James O'Brien, defending champion, seventh. 654 Josh Conker eighth. The 8 of Steven Aguiar in ninth. We have the 18 of Travis Browder, 10th. 45 Eddie Hawks, 11th. We have the 911 of John LaBeouf, 12th. 13 of Jean-Francois Champagne, 13th. We have the 092 Dean Stone, 14th. The 3 of Dale Robertson will be starting 15th. 28 of Eric Roberts, 16th. 21 of Trevor White, 17th. 78 of Ronald McManus, 18th. The 95 of Jeffrey Ford, 19th. 41 Chris Perez, 20th, and he will be the last car to put down a qualifying time and last starting the race in the back of the pack will be the 9 of Austin Moore, who did an amazing job last race at Kansas. As right now we do have these drivers rolling here at pace speed, which is 50 miles an hour, well 65 miles an hour. Going to be going green for the first time, this time by being led by the 7 of Dallas Pataska. Well, it's going to be a very, very wild race because all these guys are going to be battling. They might not be racing, or they might not all be racing for the championship, but they are all racing to advance their spots.
Yeah, most definitely. These guys want to try to get that championship or at least finish as well as they can. So it should be a great and fun race here tonight here at Homestead.
As the exit turn for the pace car goes off, the 7 of Pataska still holding pace speed. The 6 of Matos getting closer. Green flag flies. They all put it down. 66 Charles Perez tries to get a lead on the 7 of Pataska, but Pataska was not caught sleeping that time. The 6 of Stephen Mattox will be following the 7 of Dallas Pataska as the 60 of Cotton on the outside tried to get in line but was blocked by the 24 of Corey Blevins, who was occupying his inside line. But going up front, that 7 of Pataska does go up on the high side, and they do take it 3 wide. 66 of Charles Perez will be in the middle. 6 of Mattox does back it down, take it back to 2 wide as it will be side by side here through turns 3 and 4. That 6 of Mattox will try to push the 66 of Charles Perez past the 7 of Pataska on the outside.
Yeah, it looks like the 6 of Maddox wants to get in this, but he is just going to fall back here right in line. He is going to let Paradas and Pataska just battle it out here, just kind of riding, as you said. We have 125 laps here, so they've got some time here, so it'll be interesting to see how this is going to play out as Dallas Pataska is going to take the lead. The 66 of Paradas kind of falls back a little bit. Maddox is right there. Also, take a look, Sean. There's a 24 of Corey Blevins, who has actually now got the 60 of Colton Lane down to his inside.
Yep, that 60 of Colton Lane does back up his entry to the turn to most likely try and get the best exit off of it, but the 24 of Blevins not backing off and will have a greater momentum gain off the exit of turn 2, and that 60 of Colton Lane does fall short. Occupying his inside will be the 1 of James O'Brien. And further back in the pack there, we do have the 8 of Stephen Aguiar, just pretty much watching the action from his in-car as he watches the 654 Josh Conker 60 of Colton Lane going side by side.
Yeah, we'll jump inside his car with him here, looking out the front windshield and watch that battle. Is they are still running side by side, but everybody in front of them is single file. But it looks like Colton Lane is just going to get back into single file. It looks like we might have a battle here for second place between the 6 of Charles Paradas and Stephen Maddox.
And Dave, I was seeing a little bit of smoke on the track, just a little bit of spoofs here and there. It looks like it was the after effects of something that occurred that we end up missing, but we have the 78 of Ron McManus. Dave, heavy damage on pit road. He did blow his motor. That is very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, he's that's usually one of the guys that kind of wait till the end of the race, starts moving up, so that is unfortunate. Hopefully he can get down there, get that damage repaired, and get back out on the track, as he is just going to be going multiple laps down now.
And that 654 Josh Conker still battling the 1 of James O'Brien. These guys going at it, trying their best to have the best spots possible before those green flag pit stops kick in, because I have a feeling we are going to see green flag pit stops just like we always do, like last week at Kansas. And behind, no, they do fall back in line. 654 of Conker behind the 1 of James O'Brien with the 60 of Colton Lane, getting very, very close to 654 of Conker. And for the back in the pack, 45 Eddie Hawks, they take him 3 9 11. John Love backs it down to 2 wide. The 3 of Danny Duchesne does, or the 3 of Dale Robertson does propel past both drivers who still do stay side by side. That is 45 Eddie Hawks and the 911 of John LaBeouf. And 45 Eddie Hawks is a driver as well, who does like to keep a low profile. The 28 of Eric Roberts on his inside with the pulling the 95 of Jeffrey Ford.
Yeah, it looks like 95 of Jeffrey Ford is just content there riding behind Hawks. They've also got the 9 of Austin Moore, another great driver as he is just riding. Looks like the 28 of the 28 machine of Roberts is just going to be on the inside by himself, as the rest of these guys are all just running on that outside line.
And at this point, that 95 Jeffrey Ford does seem to be boxed in right now, trying to pick lines. Yep, he picks a different lane in behind the 28 of Eric Roberts to be behind or side by side with the 45 of Eddie Hawks, and he will follow the 28 of Eric Roberts through. That 45 of Eddie Hawks still just staying high, just pretty much riding for now, trying his best to not lose too much time, at the same time trying his best to hit his marks.
Well, most definitely, I think what Eddie Hawks is doing right there is he's just trying to conserve tires. He is expecting a long green flag run, so here he's trying to save tires for a late run here as the laps keep ticking down.
Oh, and right now he's being overtaken by the 9 of Austin Moore, who is looking to his inside. They will go side by side, but entering turn 3, he does clear him successfully. But at the same time, he was pulling the 21 of Trevor White. We can move side by side. Actually, behind him, we have a battle between the 41 Chris Perez and the 09-2 of Dean Stone. 41 Perez, big run. He has to check up. He gets in the back of the 21 of Trevor White, but no harm done. He does drift high because of it, allowing the 09-2 of Dean Stone to occupy his inside.
Yeah, it looks like the 09-2 of Dean Stone is trying to pick up 2 spots here, as he is going to take 3 wide there with the 21 of Trevor White. He does back it down coming into turn number 3, taking it back down to double file here, but he is wanting to get around these guys as he is wanting to make his way up to the front.
And right now he's trying to get it around on the 21 of Trevor White, trying to set him up while pulling the 41 of Chris Perez with him. Into turns 1 and 2, he does ride that middle lane, middle to high line, compared to the bottom, to the last lap where he rode the bottom lane throughout. And right now he does still manage to lead a big nose against the 41 of Chris Perez, while the 21 of White tries to apply pressure to the 45 of Eddie Hawks, who drifts high.
Going back up front here, checking in on our leaders, the 7 of Dallas Pataska is pulled out to a little bit of a gap. He is running about 7 tenths and ahead of Stephen Maddox, who is also, these two have also pulled out to look about another 6-tenth gap between second and third place. And third place is the 66 of Charles Paratus.
And speaking of Stephen Maddox and Dallas Pataska, these guys have been at it ever since the last race we had at Kansas, the Race of Champions 130 by Trip Morton. Man, these guys were exchanging the lead. We ended up noticing that the 6 of Maddox was a very fast driver, but he was fast in the short run. All the 7 of Pataska ended up being faster in the long run. And right now, the 6 of Maddox has seemed to have backed it down to most likely try and save tires at the same time. Still keep the 7 of Pataska in his sights.
Well, I'll tell you what, that 24 of Corey Blevins, he has got a fast car behind him. That is the 1 of James O'Brien, last season's champion. He is wanting to get up in here and just do as best as he can, as he is getting right to that back door there of Blevins. So Blevins is definitely getting an eyeful in his rearview mirror.
And further back in the pack, the 18 of Travis Brown and the 27 of Danny Duchesne going at it for the 7th place position. Travis Brown, an amazing driver, 27 of Danny Duchesne, an amazing driver, 27 of Duchesne, does get on the 18 of Travis Brown there, and he does fall in line behind Duchesne, but behind him he has the 8 of Aguiar roaring in his rearview mirror, trying to set him up.
No, Sean, these drivers are definitely driving like they know it's the last race of the season. They know that a champion will be crowned tonight, but they want to put a good show on for all the folks at home watching and all the folks out watching on the iRacing Live portal here tonight. So they are putting on a pretty good show already, as we've got battles all over the field, as it looks like Stephen Maddox is actually catching the 7 of Dallas Pataska, as he has closed it down now to about 0.3 of a second gap.
Oh yeah, I could see those last couple of laps. The 6 of Maddox had been using different race lines compared to 7 of Dallas Pataska. Most likely ended up finding a faster line in the process, and right now using it against the 7 of Pataska, and is catching up to him like you had pointed out. As right now here on the exit of turn 4, he does drift high from low line to high line, but not drifting as high as the 7 does Pataska, and most likely just trying to get a little bit of that draft to pull him in.
Go a little further back here, it looks like the 13 of Jean-Francois Champagne is now being challenged by the 3 of Dale Robertson for that number 10 position, as the 3 of Dale Robertson goes all the way down by the white line, but Jean-Francois Champagne gets a good run off of the turn, and Dale Robertson is just not able to clear him.
And Jean-Francois does stay high to let him go. He does make the pass successfully on the exit of turns number 3 and 4. And up front, we have a big battle. It's between the 27 of Duchesne and the 8 of Aguiar, who are behind the 18 of Travis Browder. 27 of Duchesne, big run on the 8 of Aguiar, who is occupying that bottom lane to try and follow the draft of the 18 of Brother, who then drifts way high to give assistance to the 27 of Danny Duchesne. Another battle day we had was between the 1 of James O'Brien and the 66 of Charles Paradis. But that 66 of Paradis does still maintain the lead he had over the 1 of James O'Brien, who is... Oh, they will actually have a lead change up front. The 7 of Pataska was bumped down to 2nd place against the 6 of Matox, who just took over that race lead.
He not only took over the race lead, but he is pulling away, as he has already put almost a 0.6 of a second gap between him and Dallas Pataska. The question is did Dallas Pataska use up his tires? Because he is just losing time now to the 6 of Stephen Maddox.
Yeah, he most likely did end up using up all his tires, and these guys now do all have 20 laps on their tires, and those green flag pit stops, I have a feeling they are about to start kicking in, and we are going to see a lot of different strategies out there. Some guys preferring to run their tanks dry, and some to pit in as soon as they can to get the tires to have the faster pace. But going for the back in the pack, focusing on the 3 of Dale Robertson. He does have a battle ahead of him. Actually, it's way up ahead. It's between the 27 of Duchesne and the 18 of Travis Browder. Dave, the 27 of Duchesne, has been on a roll ever since the green flag had flown. Just gets around the 18 of Travis Browder, who tries his best to get back around him, not putting on, backing it off, but he does end up clearing him on the exit of 2.
Yeah, it looks like Travis Browder is just kind of riding, getting a feel for it. And also, Travis has got to watch for that 8 of Stephen Aguiar, as he is all over his back bumper as well, wanting to take that position. As it now looks like Danny Duchesne has already got his eyes sight on the spot before him, as he is now battling side by side with the 654 of Josh Conker.
He does lead a big nose here on the exit of 2. He most likely will clear him. Nope, the 654 Josh Conker momentum gain off the exit of turn 2 with the drop of the 24 of Corey Blevins, but he will get to his back bumper and be boxed in. Yeah, 27 of Corey Blevins does drift high. The wheel trying to take him 3 wide. No, back to 2 wide. 654 Josh Conker backs it down and gets side by side, actually behind the 24 of Corey Blevins, while the 27 of Duchesne did make the pass successfully.
Also looks like the 8 of Stephen Aguiar was able to get around the 18 of Travis Browder, as he is now riding right behind the 654 of Conker. As it looks like this group of Camaros here had no trouble getting around that Toyota Camry of that 18 of Browder.
18 of Browder, big run on both the 8 of Aguiar and the 24 of Corey Blevins, but backs it down to avoid causing trouble. That 8 of Aguiar going to take it 3 wide on the 654 of Conker and the 24 of Corey Blevins. Let's see what happens. 654 Josh Conker in the middle, as that 24 of Blevins is finally clear of these 2 drivers, but they do still stay side by side off the exit of turns number 1 and 2. And the 654 of Conker will do the over and under against the 8 of Aguiar. The 8 of Aguiar did drift way high into turns number 3 and 4, but was still able to maintain his momentum and clear the 654 of Conker on the exit.
Yeah, these guys are running good. It's just showing that even here at Homestead, these guys can run 3 wide. They trust running with each other. They trust the running side by side. is these guys are putting on a heck of a battle. But going back up front here, taking a look at Dallas Pataska, he is still a little ways there behind. He is just under a second behind the 6 of Stephen Maddox. I tell you what, it looks like the 6 of Stephen Maddox has found 5th gear and is just pulling away from the rest of the field.
Oh, absolutely. He has found 5th gear in that. 7 of Dallas Pataska has ended up finding 4.5 gear. As right now he did actually end up running down the 6 of Mattox a little bit the last lap. So if he does keep it up, he will be able to catch up to him here in no time. And he is 0.8 seconds behind him. So he is in the draft. So he's getting a little bit of that draft on the straights. But actually I just talked about how he closed the gap in between him and the 6 of Mattox. But he ended up losing that gap again. And he's now back to a second.
Well, going back here for the 3rd position, it looks like Paradas is in trouble. He's got the 1 of James O'Brien looking to his inside here on the backstretch, trying to get that run here into turn number 3. Looks like O'Brien is going to have that inside lane, but Paradas is just not giving up as he gets a decent run through the middle of the turn. But here comes James O'Brien again, pulling up back door to door. As it looks like James O'Brien is just going to pull in behind him.
And further back, we do have some more battles. 654, Josh Conquer 18. Travis Brother makes the pass successfully on him here on the exit of turns number 1 and 2. But 654 Conquer is charging. Also, his inside. He gives him a bump and run. As he looks to his inside, they'll be side by side throughout the backstretch, entering turn 3. Oh, look at that day. We have one driver on the apron. That is the 8 of Stephen Aguiar, most likely executing some green flag pit stops here.
Yep, it looks like the 8 of Aguiar is going to go down onto pit road here. He is going to, him and looks like maybe the 95 of Jeffrey Ford and the 60 of Colton Lane are going to be our first group down pit road here. It looks like these guys may be trying to pitch short just a little to get some later track position. So it'll be interesting to see how this pit strategy is going to play out.
Oh yeah, and all these drivers did pit in with 28 laps on their tires, so it's going to be interesting to see exactly what the other guys try and do. Those leaders up there who are now coming up to about 31 laps on their tires. And now going back up front, the 6 of Mattox still pulling off from the 7 of Dallas Pataska, as the 1 of James O'Brien was able to get around the 66 of Charles Paris. Nope, they're still battling. He was able to get around him on the positions, but they are still battling.
Well, it looks like the 66 of Paradas is going to drop in behind the 1 of James O'Brien. So James O'Brien is going to come all the way from 7th position at the start of this race and overtake that 3rd position, but doesn't look like the 66 of Paradas is wanting to give up just yet.
And that 21 of Trevor White down pit road for some green flag pit stops with 29 laps on his tires. He does take 4 tires, the full tank of gas, and off he goes.
Well, we got the 66 of Paradas pulling down onto the pit entrance, followed by the 27 of Danny DeShane. So it looks like these guys will be coming in for their first set of green flag pit stops here at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Oh, 654 Josh Conquer gets into the barrier on pit entrance. He does smack those tires. No harm done. Well, yes, some harm was done. That right side not looking too pretty, but he was still able to keep it going.
Yeah, it's a good job. The good thing he didn't blow his engine, because we know these cars can be a little fragile, Sean. They sometimes they don't take much of a bump to get that motor damaged and blown, but he does get into his pit stall. You got the 18 of Browder right there as well. Looks like DeShane's going to take 4 tires. Browder taking 4 tires. 654 Conquer is going to take 4 tires, but he is trying to repair some damage before he leaves pit road.
And the leaders have pitted in, the 6 of Mattox and the 1 of James O'Brien, both down pit road, and that does give us a lead change. The 3 of Robertson does take it away, with the 24 of Corey Blevin second, the 911 of John LaBeouf in third.
Looks like the 3 of Dale Robertson is now making his way down into pit road. That is going to give that race lead over to the 24 of Corey Blevins. He is going to be our new race leader, followed by the 911 of John LaBeouf, with the 41 of Chris Perez running out your top 3.
And at this point, those top 3 drivers are the only ones who are left to pit, as everybody else at this point has pitted in. And look at the status check between the 6 of Mattox. 6 of Mattox right now is on the track trying to make up as much time as possible. Any time that he might have lost on pit road, as he did pit in 1 lap after the 7 of Dallas Pataska, who is being shown ahead of him at this point. Oh, yes, Dave. The 7 of Pataska did pit in sooner, or 1 lap sooner than the 6 of Mattox. And at this point, the 7 of Pataska is ahead of the 6 of Mattox, and 6 of Mattox does have him in his sights.
I tell you what, Sean, I love watching these guys race. We see a lot of green flag pit stops. These drivers are definitely respectful. It's a great league. These guys definitely know how to wheel these cars around. So it is great just seeing these guys battle around the track here.
Oh, absolutely, most definitely is. As right now, the 6 of Mattox trying his best to take back what was rightfully his, which was that race lead. But that 7 of Pataska has upped his game. You know, it did seem that before the first green flag run, the 7 of Pataska was faster in the short run, while the 6 of Mattox ended up being faster in the long run. So that did end up reversing roles compared to the last race we had at Kansas last week, where it was reversed, where Pataska was faster in the long run. The 6 of Mattox was faster in the short run. But right now, the 7 of Pataska does take over the race lead. 6 of Mattox second, 8 of Aguiar third, 6 of Charles Paradis fourth, and the 27 of Danny Duchesne in fifth.
Well, we saw the 6x4 Josh Conker get into a little bit of trouble coming down onto pit road. The 7 of Dallas Pataska has got a rounding. That is going to put him 1 lap down. Is now the 7 of Pataska. This is definitely shaking the field out. The field is definitely spread all out here, so that is going to make it interesting as these leaders are going to start working through some lap traffic.
Yeah, and speaking of Josh Conker, Dave, just like you had pointed out, you know, the damage he sustained from getting into the barriers on pit entrance. Looking at his pit times right now, everybody else had from 11 seconds to 12-second pit stops, while compared to him, he had a 61.5-second pit stop. So that is more than triple the time spent on pit road. So right now, Dave is most likely just hoping for a caution just so he can get caught back up.
Yeah, looking here, looks like he is 2 laps down. The 21 of Trevor White also is 3 laps down. So if the yellow does come out, that would give Conker the lucky dog and put him just 1 lap down. So he would need at least 2 cautions here to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, looking at the 21 of Trevor White, he does not seem to have too much damage, but that right side is dinged up, most likely from a wall scrape due to the heavy battling that these drivers had going on before the first round of green flag pit stops. And Dave, looking further back in the pack, man, we do have the pack very, very spread out. 6 of Charles Paradis trying to catch the 8 of Aguiar, and he is in his draft.
Yeah, also a little further back, 27 of Danny Duchesne, the 1 of James O'Brien, and the 18 of Travis Browder are still kind of close together as these 3 guys are battling it out in the 5th, 6th, and 7th position. So they are kind of riding each other's draft, but it doesn't look like these guys are just sitting back and letting anybody have it.
Oh, no, they're not. You know, with the first round of green flag pit stops they've had, they know they're most likely going to have another round of green flag pit stops. So with that said, there's no time to ride, there's only time to race, because this track is a very, very fast track. So if you do ride for too long, you will end up going a lap down, because those leaders up there are not playing. And Dave, speaking of the leaders, the 6 of Mattox has started catching up the 7 of Dallas Pataska for the race lead.
Yeah, he has closed that gap to under 2 seconds now, and it looks like he's been able to get around the 6x4 of Conker. So he's got clean air in front of him as he is running right about 1.7 seconds behind our current race leader, the 7 of Dallas Pataska.
And speaking of Dallas Pataska, he is a rookie this season. This is his first season, and he's in the lead. Starting tonight's race, he was 22 points ahead of the second place driver, which is the 1 of James O'Brien, defending champion from last season. But you know, things can go south. So that right now, James O'Brien is just hoping for the worst for the 7 of Dallas Pataska, just so he can benefit from it. And at the same time, the successful shots Paradis is about 6 points, well, was about 6 points behind the one of James O'Brien starting tonight's race. So, Dave, if James O'Brien ends up making a mistake, the successful shots Paradis is there to take it away.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are about 1/3 through this race. We have 83 laps to go here at Homestead Miami Speedway for the Precision Racing League United Armed Services Oval Series season finale. We are going to take a quick commercial break, but we are going to keep the cameras up as we're going to go to our side-by-side so that you can continue with all the racing action. So this will be your chance to refill your drinks, refill your snacks, and we will be right back.
Drivers, start your reading. Motor Sim Racing Magazine is the first and only magazine dedicated to sim racing. Every month we'll be covering the hot topics around the world of sim racing. So if you're looking to be in the know, go to www.motorsimsracing.com. You will find articles from your favorite drivers, leagues, and other prominent people in the sim racing community. Want an update of your favorite league? We got it. Want to learn the basics on finding a perfect league for you? We got it. Want to know more about how leagues are run? We got it. So remember, when you want to know what's going on in the sim racing world, go to www.motorsimracing.com.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Precision Racing League United Armed Services Oval Series as we continue the season finale here at Homestead Miami Speedway. For the commercial break, we did have our first round of green flag pit stops, and the latest we had seen drivers pit was about laps 34 to 35. So with that said, we should expect our next round to be about, I would say, 69 to 70 laps, as right now we are on lap number 50, and we see how the 7 of Pataska still in the lead. But Dave, that 6 of Masters has been running him down lap after lap, and is now about 0.5 seconds behind.
Yeah, he's definitely been on a mission here since he came back. It looks like he has got the faster long run here, as it looks like the 7 of Dallas Pataska is starting to slow down again here, as these guys are hitting right about 20 laps on their tires.
And Dave further back in the pack with a battle between the 9 of Austin Moore and the 41 of Chris Perez, who are side by side throughout the backstretch. Entering turn 3, the 9 of Austin Moore is occupying the outside. 41 Chris Perez on the inside. 9 Austin Moore does drift way high, but will he maintain his momentum? Let's see. Yes, he does, and will clear the 41 of Perez before turn 1. And both drivers are still on the lead lap, and they are fighting for position for that 15th, for the 16th place position. The next victim is the 092 of Deanstone, but the 41 of Perry is not backing off.
No, none of these guys are backing off as we have now. We're getting close to the halfway point here, Sean. We got 74 laps to go. Of this 125 lap here at Homestead Miami Speedway, the Precision Racing League United Armed Services Oval Series, these guys are just putting on a great show here, as we still got 17 cars on the lead lap. Right now, the 9 of Austin Moore is the last car on the lead lap.
Oh yeah, knowing that this is the last race of the season, they do want to make it count. And right now, the 45 Eddie Hawks being shown a lap down right now, trying his best to put down the hammer. He just actually got overtaken by the leaders, the 6 of Matos and the 7 of Das Pataska, and right now has a 66 of Charles Perez approaching his rear view. But speaking of those leaders, 6 of Matos getting very, very close there to the 7 of Pataska. At this point, the 7 of Pataska is feeling the pressure.
Yeah, I'm sure he sees that Tide machine in his rearview mirror as the 6 of Maddox is just wicked fast tonight. He is able to wheel in the 7 of Dallas Pataska, which we haven't really seen very many people to do this season, but he is just able to reel him in here as the run goes into its later stages.
And Dave, let's ride with the 6 of Matos just so we can see exactly what he's seeing. As you do see him get very close to the 7 of Dallas Pataska, but both drivers do stay off that black line on that left side of theirs. And on the exit of turn 2, he does reel into his left quarter panel, most likely to try and set him up to try and make him make a mistake. But Dallas Pataska will drift high here into turns 3 and 4. He almost taps that wall. He backs it up in time, but the 6 of Matos makes the pass successfully, exiting turn 4. So that was a good setup right there. That was textbook pass from the 7 of Pataska. Will try his best to regroup and try and take back what's rightfully his.
Yeah, as we go up onto the roof there of the 6 of Stephen Maddox, we are looking back at that front end of that Chevy Camaro POW MIA driven by the 7 of Dallas Pataska. It doesn't look like Maddox is pulling away like he did before. Pataska is just kind of riding wherever he is, trying to find out where he's getting all this speed from.
Yeah, that's all you can do. If you do find it, if you do realize that someone is fast in the long run, you are gonna want to do exactly what they're doing to try and beat them at their own game, and that is his best defense right now, to try and figure out exactly what the 6 of Matos is doing differently, and for him to do it better. As right now, he, just like you said, he is keeping up with the 6 of Stephen Matos, as both drivers are catching the back of the pack once again. They have the 9 of Austin Moore next in line. Also the 092 Dean Stone, and there's the 60 of Cotton Lane, 95 Jeffrey Ford going down pit road this time by.
Well, we are in that pit window, Sean, that we saw from the earlier stint, so looks like our second round of green flag pit stops are coming full steam ahead here now.
Yeah, this is lap number 58 for these drivers. You know, last I checked, the other drivers ran about 35 laps on their tires, so it's going to be interesting to see if these guys do change their strategies compared based on those guys who went down pit road, or maybe they do stick to their right strategies. And Dave, going back up front, the 7 of Pataska, the 6 of Matos actually is trying to break the draft in between him and the 7 of Dallas Pataska, and Dallas Pataska is not minding it.
Well, Sean, we've got some more down on pit road. The 45 of Eddie Hawks is now making his way down onto pit road for some green flag pit stops. So, yeah, these guys are right about 27, 28 laps here, so these guys know it's pit window time here. As the 60 of Colton Lane is trying to get her up back around the 6 of Maddox, as it looks like he is not get well. Yeah, he is going to get around him, so he is going to get one lap back here. Taking a look, it looks like Colton Lane is still one lap down, but he is just waiting for everybody else to start making their way down on the pit road.
Speaking of pit road, Dave, the 6 of Matos does peel off. He will go down pit road this time by, but the 7 of Pataska will still stay out. At this point, Dave, it's reversed. Last time, the 7 of Pataska did put in a lap before the 6 of Matos did, but right now Matos ends up pitting in before the 7 of Dallas Pataska. So let's see when the 7 of Pataska pits in. It's going to be interesting to find out.
Yeah, it looks like the 8 of Stephen Aguiar and the 18 of Travis Browder is also going to make their way down onto pit road with the 6 of Maddox. So this will be interesting. We got 21 of Trevor White down on pit road, as we see the 9 of Austin Moore and the 7 of Dallas Pataska now making their way down onto pit road.
Oh, I like how that reverses. Now the 7 of Pataska pits in a lap after his biggest threat tonight, the 6 of Mattox. And right now Pataska will look to the inside of the 9 of Austin Moore, and that will give us a different leader, the 6 of Charles Paradis. And right now Paradis down at the 27 of Danny Duchesne, breathing down his neck. These guys have been going at it all night long, and they do get around the 95 of Jeffrey Ford. Actually, that's the 6 of Stephen Mattox, who's just pitting out.
Well, as we are now hitting our halfway point, this race has been halfway completed. Taking a look at our race report, it looks like we've had no cautions, 8 lead changes here tonight, and as of right now, Dallas Pataska has the fastest lap of the night with a 31.313 here at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Oh man, very impressive indeed. You know, since those drivers have pitted in, but not everybody has pitted in. Right now, it is showing the 6 of Mattox a lap down. It's showing actually only 10 drivers on the lead lap. But all these other drivers have not yet pitted in. We have 41, Chris Perez down pit road, 27, Danny Duchesne down pit road. And we have, let's see, about 4 drivers still left to pit in, namely Charles Paradis, Corey Blevins, John LaBeouf, and the 654 of Josh Conker.
Well, just as you say that, the 66 of Paradis and the 654 of Conker now make their way down onto pit road here. So we are still waiting on the 24 of Blevins, the 911 of John LaBeouf, and the 092 of Dean Stone are the only ones left to pit in this green flag pit cycle.
And by the looks of it, that time the driver who went the most on his tires was the 66 of Charles Paradis, with having 33 laps. At this point, the 092 of Dean Stone is the closest to him, who does have 1 lap less than he does. So let's see if he pits in or stays out.
Well, looks like we had another lead change. The 911 of John LaBeouf was able to get around Corey Blevins there on the front stretch and be able to lead that lap. So he gets a bonus point for that. But Corey Blevins is just not letting him go as he powers off at turn number 2. Oh, looks like here they come. Corey Blevins and Josh Conker, or 911 of LaBeouf, making their way down onto pit road.
And that will give us a lead change, most likely the 092 of Dean Stone, who will still be electing to stay out now, having 34 laps on his tires.
Yeah, I think he's definitely pushing his fuel here, so he is trying to see if he can kind of run it down and how many, hopefully do one last pit stop than everybody else is what it looks like. But he is going to stay out and lead a lap.
But going back onto the track, that 6 of Stephen Mattox is ahead of the 7 of Dallas Pataska, just like it happened the last time. Things were reversed this time, and things have reversed again, as the 7 of Pataska is now behind the 6 of Stephen Mattox compared to the first round of green flag pit stops that we had, and they are separated about just a little bit less than a second. Actually, a little bit over a second. Actually, we have some trouble on the back stretch. We have a 654. Josh Conker right in the grass as we speak. I'm not sure what happened, but that Chevy Camaro is not looking pretty.
Yeah, it's all beat up, but he is able to make it down on the pit road, keep it down below the white line, so they are going to keep the green flag flying. It is not going to bring out the caution, but he is coming back down pit road.
And Dave, we do have a new leader once again. The 6 of Mattox taking it back. The 7 of Pataska now being shown second. The 8 of Aguiar third. 27 of Danny Duchesne fourth. And the 18 of Travis Brown are going to be new to the top 5. PF is starting in 10th place.
10-4 on that, Sean. Most definitely, these guys are shaking it up here as we are still showing currently 15 cars on the lead lap. We have 3 cars a lap down, as looks like Josh Conker is still down on pit road, as he has got some major damage to try and fix.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's a very, very rough night for the 654 of Josh Conker, and has been for the last couple of races we've had, but he is an amazing driver. He will pull through it, as right now the 6 of Mattox is getting around some slower traffic, getting around the 95 of Jeffrey Ford, who will be going a lap down this time by.
Now taking a look at my gap here between the 6 of Maddox and the 7 of Pataska, there is about 8/10 to 9/10 difference here between them two, but it looks like Pataska is starting to close that gap a little bit, as he is usually better in the first stretch of the run, and Maddox usually finds his speed later in the run.
And just a few calculations I'm doing right now. These guys will have to pit one more time, and most likely with the 6 of Mattox and 7 of Dallas Pataska, with their pit strategy, they will be going down pit road about from either lap 85 to 89. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see exactly what happens, or maybe if they switch it up just like they had done previously. And we did have some drivers who did really, really push that fuel limit, like the 66 of Charles Paradis. And status check on him, he is currently in 7th place and has the 3 of Darrell Robertson, who is his next biggest threat, in line right behind him. And we only have now 13 drivers on the lead lap, compared to the last time we had checked. Before everyone had pitted in, we had 10, but now we have 13. And the first car lap down, which is going to be taken by the leaders, was the 95 of Jeffrey Ford. The 9 of Austin Moore still going strong. The 41, Chris Perez, going strong as well. And we have one driver down pit road. That is the 45 of Eddie Hawks.
Yeah, it looks, I think he had a little bit of trouble, as it looked like he had pitted not too long ago. Actually, only about 14 laps ago, so he is coming back down. He might have to try to get some damage repaired, as it looks like the 6x4 of Josh Conker is starting to roll off pit road, or actually, he taking a look here, looks like he is, I think he's pulling back in. He may have came out, did a lap, and elected to come back in and get some more damage repaired.
Yeah, that is most likely what he did right there in that 45 Eddie Hawks. Dave, on my end here, he did not have any damage whatsoever. That car is looking very, very clean, looking very good. He did take 4 tires, a full tank of gas, and is still on pit road as we speak. So maybe it's some internal damage that we can't see.
Yeah, as we know from the real Xfinity series on NASCAR, you know, these cars can be quite finicky and get some major damage that we just can't see. So he may be down there just trying to get that fixed, and let's see if he can come back out on the track.
And going back up front, the 6 of Mattox in the lead, with the 7 of Dallas Pataska now in 2nd place. Still in 2nd place, but Pataska has been closing that gap lap after lap, using different race lines. And Dave, let's try and ride with the 7 of Pataska, just so we can see exactly what it takes to pull someone in. If you do see both drivers staying off that black line on their left, on that bottom lane between turns 1 and 2, and they do both power off to the high side throughout the whole backstretch, but he does seem to have a different entry point in between turns 3 and 4 compared to 6 of Steven Mattox.
Well, that's one thing about racing, Sean. These drivers got to be able to move their cars around the track just to find that extra speed, as it looks like, you know, Dallas Pataska now has closed that gap to under 4/10, so he is definitely gaining on the 6 of Steven Maddox.
Oh, he definitely is, because last time we checked, he was 7/10 behind him. So that different race line is working in his favor. Or maybe that 6 of Mattox did end up burning his stuff. It has reversed. Maybe the 7 of Pataska will end up saving tires more than the 6 of Mattox the last run. So it's going to be very interesting to see if he does pull him in. Let's see what happens this time. Oh, that gap still stays at 0.4 seconds, as both drivers do start catching up the back of the pack. They are catching the 60 of Colton Lane and the 911 of John LaBeouf, who are the next drivers on the last driver's on the lead lap, and next driver's going a lap down if they do get caught.
As we are now 48 laps to go, you figure about 18 laps these guys would be able to pit. 13 to 18 laps here, these guys will be in that pit window for our final pit stop here to be able to make it the remainder of the race. So it'll be interesting to see if how these pit strategies are playing out, as we have not had a single caution yet tonight. Well, as we go a little further back in the field here, we're going to go back to the 7 of Travis Browder, or the 18 of Travis Browder, running back in 6th position, as he is right behind the 66 of Charles Paratus, and he's got the 3 of Dale Robertson behind him, but he is running up here trying to catch up to the 66 of Paratus. Looking at the gap, though, he is probably a little over a second behind him, so he's got some work cut out for him. As they try to battle it out here, as we are now on lap 80 of 125.
And there we have a third green flag pit stop by the 8 of Steven Aguirre after having 20 laps on his tires from the last time he last pitted. He does take 4 tires, full tank of gas, and off he rolls. So yes, there he goes off pit road. Yeah, with that calculation, he will be having to come down pit road one more time for a splash and go. And I'm pretty sure everybody else there will try and run those tanks dry to avoid doing that.
Yeah, most definitely. We are seeing a lot of different pit strategies tonight, so it is making out for an interesting race here, as we are now 44 laps to go. These drivers know, once again, this is the season finale here at Homestead Miami Speedway for the Precision Racing League United Armed Services Oval Series. So these guys want to do the best they can to try to finish as best as they can in the season standings.
And going back up front, Dave, that Senna Prochaska has closed the gap a lot using the draft of the lap car and using the lap car who might have slowed down a little quite a bit to catch him. Last time I checked, he was 4 tenths back and now 2 tenths back, and the closer he gets to him, the more effective the draft works and the more he will pull him in.
Yeah, Sean, I'm looking here. We got 43 laps to go. Looks like the 6 of Maddox has got 24 laps on his tires. Dallas Pataska's got 23 laps. These guys are usually pitting right about 30, 31 laps. These guys might have to come in 2 more times to be able to make it.
Yeah, it definitely is a possibility, as right now it is lap 84, and from my calculations I had made from lap 84 to about 89, that is the pit window, or actually 84 to about 92, 93, that would be the final, because we did see some drivers go down pit with about 35 laps on their tires, and that 18 of Travis Browder does brake hard to let the 3 of Robertson by. And there we have one driver down pit road. It's 45, Eddie Hawks. He has been down pit road for over 3 minutes now, so I'm not sure what's happening, but just like we said, most likely might be something internal, because that car is looking very clean. Oh, going back up front, Dave, bottom of the race into Steven Prochaska and the 6 of Steven Mattox. Steven Prochaska on the inside of the 6 of Mattox gets around him successfully on the exit of turns number 1 and 2. And that will bump 6 of Mattox down into the 2nd place spot and give us another lead change.
I tell you what, Sean, these two have been battling out all night, back and forth. Dallas Pataska has been good on the short run, while Maddox is good on the long run, but it looks like after this last green flag pit stop, they did something to that 7 machine of Dallas Pataska and that Chevy Camaro. It looks like he is now being better on the long run, and Maddox is being better on the short run.
Oh yeah, and then as soon as he got around him, he has put away a lot. As right now the 6 of Matrix does struggle to keep up, and that 7 of Pataska once again has his eyes of his sights set on the 911 of John LaBeouf, who will be the next car going a lap down if he does get past.
You know, Sean, I just thought of something. What if that 6 of Stephen Maddox is just saving fuel a little bit to try to make it so that he can make sure that he can make it on only one more pit stop?
Oh man, yeah, that is definitely a possibility, and that will shake things up for him, because if he is saving gas, you know, the back of he has something to sacrifice. He has speed to sacrifice for that, and everybody will end up catching him, and that's going to be very interesting to see exactly what happens. But if he does work out, Dave, he will be the best driver out there.
Well, Sean, as they now cross the start-finish line, we've only got 37 laps to go, which means these guys would have to put 2 to 4 more laps on their tires, and on these tires and this fuel. They should be able to make it with just one more pit stop here tonight.
Yeah, and so far the driver with the most laps on his tires will be the 18 of Travis Browder with 30 laps on his tires. Like I pointed out, the latest we've seen a driver go was 35 laps on tires, and these guys are cutting it close. Like you check, the 7 of Das Pataska has 29 laps, as the 6 of Matox does have 30 laps, 1 lap difference compared to their 1 lap difference based on their last pit stop they had. And that 092 Dean Stone Dave still going strong, putting down some laps. That's got overtaken by the 2 leaders and will be shown about 2 laps down.
Well, going back here in the 3rd position, it looks like the 1 of James O'Brien is going to get around the 27 of Danny Deshane, but Danny Deshane is fighting back for that 3rd position. So right now we do have last season's champion now running in your P3 position.
Oh, Dave, the gloves are off. The 1 of James O'Brien does have a chance at bringing this thing home. He was only a few spots behind the 7 of Das Pataska, the season standings leader. So he does have, I mean, he's trying his best to catch the 7 of Pataska, who is his biggest enemy tonight for that championship, trying his best to defend his championship, or trying to have the championship 2 times in a row as he tries to pull away from 27 of Danny Deshane.
Well, Sean, we are now 34 laps to go, which means we are in that final pit window. We should start seeing some final pit stops here within the next couple of laps.
Yep, and these drivers can run about 4 more laps on their tires before pitting in, as right now the 18 of Travis Browder does head down pit road. 28 Eric Roberts will follow him. A lot more drivers down pit road. We do have 13 Jean-Francois Champagne as well, who will be the 3rd driver on pit road.
We also saw the 95 of Jeffrey Ford making his way down onto pit road as well. So we have 4 cars making their way down onto pit road for the final, hopefully the final pit stop here tonight.
The 6 of Matox does back it down, and the 7 of Pataska as well will go down pit road. So both drivers will be pitting in here on the exact same lap. Or the 1 of James O'Brien as well, just now pitting in this time by, so that will give us another lead change. Well, the 27 of Danny Deshane will take it away. Yep, Dave, with those leaders pitting in with 33 laps to go, they will have 2 laps extra to go. So that is a very, very good thing for them. And unfortunately, we do have 1 driver retiring early for the night, the 18 of Travis Browder. Everybody at this point has pitted in except for the 66 Charles Paradis, John LaBeouf, Austin Moore, and the 092 of Dean Stone. And Charles Paradis does take over the race lead as the 27 of Danny Deshane right now is on pit road. And And Dave, battle on the track between the 092 Dean Stone and the 28 of Eric Roberts. It is a battle for the 12th place position, as both drivers are being shown one lap down and trying their best to be in the spot for the lucky dog. And that 28 Eric Roberts does make the pass successfully on the 092 of Dean Stone, bumping him back down into the 13th place position. Oh, Dave, I'm looking at the gap in between the two leaders before we had the green flag pits of the 7 of Pataska and the 6 of Steven Mattox. Dave, that gap is pretty huge. Looks like they are separated by 4 seconds, with the 7 of Pataska being ahead of the 6 of Mattox.
Yeah, they're just definitely battling here. I'm waiting on my screen to update here as far as gap-wise, but it looks like Steven Mattox is running right about 3.5 seconds behind the 7 of Dallas Pataska. But the thing is, Dallas Pataska is running right in a bunch of lap traffic. Will that slow him down enough to allow the 6 of Mattox to work his way around, as we see Pataska get around the 092 of Dean Stone, who just moves high and lets him go?
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing that Mattox is hoping for right now, is that the lap cars do slow down this 7 of Dallas Pataska, who is doing an amazing job getting around them, as he just got around those 2 other lap cars, the 9 level above and the 24 of Corey Blibbs. And right now he is catching up the 13 of Jean-Francois and the 28 of Eric Roberts.
Yeah, I'm still monitoring the gap between him and Steven Mattox. It's right about 3.7 seconds. And actually looks like it's growing a little bit, so he may have found 5th gear now, or 6th gear, and it's just starting to pull out and leave the 6 of Steven Mattox behind. It definitely looks like Dallas Pataska is winning this championship tonight, as we are coming down to 27 laps to go.
And Dave, before we had the last round of green flag pits of the 8 of Aguiar, did pit in very, very early. He actually pitted in about 13 laps before everybody else did for his 3rd round of green flag pits off. So with that said, Dave, he will not be able to make it on gas, but everybody else will. So it's going to be a very, very big disadvantage, as right now he is in 3rd place.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we are coming down to the close of this race, we are going to take our last commercial break of the evening. Just give everybody a chance to refill their drinks, as we will be right back.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Precision Racing League United Armed Services Oval Series as we continue tonight's the season finale here at Homestead Miami Speedway. As we see how the 7 of Dallas Pascal in the lead, the 6 of Mattox falling further back off the pace due to lap traffic, and the caution does fly. First caution on lap 107. Let's see who might have been involved. Oh, Dave, looks like the 654 Josh Conker was involved in that and nobody else was. Let's focus on 654 of Josh Conker on replay.
Well, as we go back, it looks like he made some contact with the grass, and that just got him spun around there, and that was just close enough to move in traffic there to bring out the caution as he was spinning coming out of the turn there. Doesn't look like he made any contact, but that is going to bring out our first caution of the night.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for 654 Josh Conker having a very, very rough night tonight after having some trouble on pit entrance during the first round of green flag pit stops, and right now is going down pit road to get some damage fixed. And Dave, once you get damage like that, the car's handling does really change, which most likely was the reason why it got loose.
Well, as we are watching, the 7 of Dallas Pataska is going to be bringing the leaders down onto pit road. I did see the 13 of Jean-Francois Champagne staying out as he is on the lead lap. Also, the 24 of Corey Blevins as well is staying out. Actually, it looks like the 13 of Jean-Francois Champagne is getting the lucky dog that is going to put him back on the lead lap.
Congratulations to 13 of Jean-Francois for getting the lucky dog and being back on the lead lap at the right time. And Dave, this caution is going to make one driver very, very happy, and that is the 8 of Steven Aguiar, because he was going to be the only driver to go down here for a last green flag run, or last green flag pit stop, while everybody else was not. So now he is back on the same strategy as everybody else.
Yeah, but how's this going to play out as we have got the Corey Blevins, who is actually a lap down Austin and trying to get back on the lead lap, but we see the 9 of Austin Moore, the 911 of John LeBoeuf, 28 of Eric Roberts, and the 21 of Trevor White making their way down onto pit road as well.
Yeah, and right now a lot of drivers, behind the pace car lap down, trying to get their laps back. So these guys, Dave, who are staying out to get their laps back, will not be having a chance to pit in, so they will have about, let's see, ranging from about 10 all the way up to 17 laps on their tires, which is going to be a very, very big disadvantage at a track like this.
Yeah, most definitely, but I tell you, one person that did not want to see this caution, that is going to be the 7 of Dallas Pataska, is that is going to put the 6 of Stephen Maddox right there in the front row with him. He did not want to lose that gap that he had, but it looks like we are going to have about a 14-lap shootout here for the checkered flag.
Yeah, Dallas is not going to be very comfortable having the 6 of Mattox side by side with him. So I'm pretty sure as soon as the pace car dips off, he will put his hammer down to the floor to try and catch the whole field off guard, especially that 6 of Steven Mattox, just so he can be able to at least hold him up for a couple of laps. If anything would happen, or maybe 7 Pataska, just like we had seen the last run, he did end up figuring out a way to save his tires better than the 6 of Steven Mattox, so maybe he won't be too worried about that, as right now the 7 Pataska is still behind the pace car, actually behind the 8 of Aguiar, the 95 Jeffrey Ford, 60 Colton Lane, 41 Chris Perez, 092 Dean Stone, and that 24 of Corey Blevins.
I'll tell you what, Sean, I bet you any money that the 1 of James O'Brien was smiling when that yellow flag came out. He is currently running in P3, so he is going to be right here behind these guys. I have a feeling we're going to see him battling these 3 for the win.
Oh yeah, Dave, he is an amazing driver. He has been an amazing driver throughout the entire season, even though the season hasn't really gone in his favor, because he was getting caught up in a lot of incidents and finishing the races with a lot of heavy damage, which did really affect his pace. But yep, right now, Dave, his car is very, very clean, not even a single scratch on it. So he has brought his A game. He actually might even end up finding 5th gear before this thing is over. And right now we are now back to 1 to green. Gonna be going green this time by the 7 of Dallas Pataska in the lead with the 1 of James O'Brien on his rear end. The 6 of Steven Mattox gonna be starting on the outside, leading the outside in second place with the 27 of Danny Duchesne, second place on the outside line. And they do have the 6 of Charles Paradis, third place on the bottom with the 13 of Jean-Francois side by side with him, who will be third place on the outside line.
Yeah, most definitely here is the pace car is now bringing him out of turn number 4 here. You got Dallas Pataska on the inside, Stephen Maddox on the outside, James O'Brien on the bottom of the second row as the pace car dips off. Dallas Pataska wastes no time, jumps on that throttle and gets in front of the 6 of Maddox, but here comes the 1 of James O'Brien as he is door-to-door with Stephen Maddox. Here he is, got his eyes set as he is able to clear him here in turn number 1. It looks like James O'Brien wants that win, he wants that lead, as he is now moved up into second position.
And right now, Dave, the 6 of Mattox now has 2 drivers to think about, the 1 of O'Brien and the 7 of Pataska, and both drivers are very, very fast and won't let him have it easy. So maybe right now, Dave, his best bet is to let the 1 of O'Brien battle, or maybe hope for them to, the 1 of O'Brien and the 7 of Pataska to battle, so he can set both of them up to get around them. But it's going to be a very, very sticky situation. But it's going to be an amazing one as well. It's 27 of Duchesne charging behind the 6 of Mattox. Look to his outside. He gets loose, backs it off to avoid getting spun out. I was able to hang on to it.
Yeah, it looks like the 6 of Stephen Maddox is having a little trouble getting around the 1 of James O'Brien as they are starting to lose a little bit of time to our race leader, the 7 of Pataska, who has already opened up to about a 4/10 of a second lead.
And Dave, that 27 of Danny Duchesne has upped his game. I mean, in the beginning of the race, he had his hammer down to the floor and was overtaking as many cars as he could, advancing his position. And right now, Dave, he has been giving quite the hard time at the 6 of Stephen Mattox. And right now, 27 of Duchesne is very, very eager to get around the 6 of Mattox.
Yeah, well, it's like we said earlier, it seems that Maddox was a little bit slower on the early stages of the run, but as the run went longer green, he did really good as he is kind of falling back there. But man, Dallas Pataska is putting the hammer to the pedal to the metal here as he is just pulling out. But here comes James O'Brien. He has not given up. He has closed it now to right about 3.35 seconds difference there as James O'Brien is looking to try to catch him and get around him to slow that momentum.
And Dave, they are not catching the 7 of Pataska as quick as we thought. So Dave, maybe they are saving tires, just like you said. We talked about the 6 of Mattox being faster in the long run or slower when he switched during the pit stops that we had. So right now, maybe these drivers are just saving tires so they can be able to push it. Oh, the 7 of Pataska right now is pushing it to keep them behind.
Well, Sean, these guys got to be careful. We've only got 10 laps to go here. Actually, as soon as they cross the start-finish line, that's going to be 9 laps to go. You know, you can't hold back too much as James O'Brien has now closed that gap to under 2/10 of a second between him and the 7 of Dallas Pataska.
As that 27 of Duchesne as well does struggle to keep, the 6 of Mattox does struggle to keep the 27 of Duchesne behind him. 27 Duchesne using different race lines to try and make the 6 of Mattox make a mistake, because he knows that he will be looking in his rearview mirror to find the best line possible to defend his spot. But the 27 of Duchesne does a big run on the 6 of Mattox at this point. The 6 of Mattox goes below that black line, but then goes back right above it. 27 of Duchesne, big run on him. He's going to lose his inside. They just may be side by side here shortly. Yes, they will be side by side. The 6 of Mattox has tossed it in harder in 2 turns, number 3 and 4. The 27 of Duchesne still occupying the inside. Let's see who has it on the exit of 4. Yeah, the 6 of Mattox was still able to hang on to it. And Dave, since the 6 of Mattox is still is getting some pressure from the 27 of Duchesne, he is losing a lot of times. It's the 1 of O'Brien and the 7 of Pataska.
Yeah, most definitely is. It's getting interesting. And also looking at my gap, looks like the 1 of James O'Brien is losing a little bit of time to Pataska. As now Pataska is about 0.5 seconds ahead of him, so he has opened that gap up a little bit here. We are now coming to 6 laps to go.
And that 27 of Danny Duchesne has the 66 of Charles Paradis behind him. In line, they do have the 13 of Jean-Francois. As these guys are all getting very, very close. The 6 of Steven Mattox, 27 of Duchesne going to the outside of that 6 of Mattox, who then throws a block on the outside, but the 27 of Duchesne would be the open under to fight inside once again. Oh man, the 60 of Charles Paradis getting very, very close. Well, Dave, while we're at it, let's focus on the 60 of Charles Paradis right on his in car as he applies pressure. That's 66 of Charles Paradis on the inside of 27 of Duchesne. He makes the pass successfully now, getting close to the 6 of Steven Mattox. At this point, Paradis just seems to be content with riding for now. At the same time, he is pushing the 6 of Mattox on the straight, giving him an arrow push to try and get those 2 leaders, the 1 of O'Brien and the 7 of Dallas Pataska.
Sean, with 4 laps to go, looking at the gap, Pataska is still running about 6/10 gap between him and James O'Brien, and then the gap between James O'Brien and Steven Mattox is only probably right about 0.6 seconds. So these guys are putting on a heck of a show, but I don't think anybody's got anything for that 1 of Dallas Pataska. He has just ran strong all night long here. As he is getting ready to come into 3 and 4, he is going to be shown 2 laps to go this next time by. So he has only got 2 more laps to bring this home here tonight.
And Dave, but for the 3rd place between the 66 of Charles Paradis and the 6 of Mattox, they are side by side throughout the front stretch. Entering turn 1, the 6 of Mattox on the outside line, 66 of Charles Paradis on the inside. That's who has it on the exit of turns number 1 and 2. Off the exit of 2, the 6 of Mattox does have a momentum gain and will most likely clear the 66 of Charles Paradis before turn 3. And yes, he does so. Will he close the door? Let's see. And yep, he ends up closing that door, as right now, just like you had pointed out, 7 Pataska has been pulling away. The 1 of James O'Brien has been losing time lap after lap. So that 7 Pataska has upped his game and trying his best to have a very, very good win. Oh, and this is the white flag. These guys gonna be going around for the final time. The 1 of James O'Brien not close enough to make a difference in his spot, as right now they do have a battle. The 6 of Charles Paradis is trying his best to get the 6 of Steven Mattox. He will charge in his back bumper on the exit of turns number 3 and 4. The 6 of Mattox still has a bit of momentum gain. 6 of Charles Paradis does not seem to have enough, as the 6 of Mattox will come out in 3rd place. But going back up from 7 of Pataska did bring this thing home. The 1 of James O'Brien 2nd, the 6 of Mattox 3rd, the 6 of Charles Paradis 4th, and the 27 of Duchesne will come out in the 5th place position. Well, Dave, that was quite the battle, and 7 Pataska did bring this thing home and challenged.
Yeah, that was a great win there. Dallas Pataska, he was really dominant here tonight for that race victory. He is going to take the win here tonight, as he was 1st in the point standing. That means he is going to be our new Season 5 champion here at the Precision Racing League.
Yeah, I do want to congratulate him on that. You know, just like I pointed out, this is his rookie season, and he was able to bring this thing home unchallenged. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have an interview with the 11 of Brandon Massey, who is one of the main drivers, as unfortunately we're not going to be able to have interviews with the other drivers due to communication problems. So stay tuned. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 11 of Brandon Massey, one of the drivers who unfortunately was not able to make tonight's race. But starting tonight's race, Brandon, you were being shown, you were tied for 7th place with the 16 of Curtis Aho. Well, how's been your season, buddy?
Oh, I had a lot of fun. Probably one of the most memorial seasons for me. It's been a blast racing with these guys on track. It's just unfortunate that I had to miss the two last races, but I mean, I had a good time. So.
Oh, we are very, very glad to hear that. And Brandon, this was the season finale for the Precision Racing League United Armed Services Oval Series here at Homestead. Well, buddy, tell us a little bit about next season, please.
Oh yeah, we got some good stuff lined up for you here next season. Next season's official start date is on the 9th. We are openly recruiting drivers. I'm not sure exactly which days we're running our recruitment races, but you can find more information at precisionracingleague.com. Instead of just accepting general signups, what we're going to do is we're going to have guys register for a special 3-race event. This is going to take place on April the 1st and the 2nd. On the 1st, we're going to run a 60-lap race at Richmond. On the 2nd, it's going to be at 8 Eastern there on the 1st, and then at 6 Eastern on the 2nd, we're going to run a 20-lap race at Watkins Glen, immediately followed at 8 Eastern by a 60-lap race at Texas. The top drivers in points, depending on how many seats we need, are then going to be allowed to race with us in Season 6.
Oh, 10 for Brandon. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, you will be required to race in it, to get yourself locked in, because these are amazing drivers. This is an amazing league, and they only take the best of the best, just so they can be able to have the best competition out there. And once again, this is a Precision Racing League. Check them out on iRacing at Precision Racing League. And just like he said, the new season officially starts on April 9th, but they will have some races before then. But once again, Brandon, we do thank you for being an amazing driver. I also want to thank you for taking the time to fill us in on what's going to be going on next season. We definitely do look forward to it.
All right, yeah, thank you guys for broadcasting. And if anybody here is interested in something other than road or oval, we also have some road series. If you're interested, we have Pro Mazda and Dallara cars, as well as a few others. If you're interested, just check out the league and see what suits your taste.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 11 of Brandon Massey, one of the drivers at the Precision Racing League. And we do look forward to seeing you again next season, Brandon.
Nice, see you guys then.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that did round up that interview with the 11 of Brandon Massey. Just like he had talked about, if you guys would like to be a part of it, they do have oval series, just like you have seen, and they have road series. He said the Dallara cars, they have Pro Mazda and a couple of others, and I believe GT3 as well on the road side of things, or the road courses. So that is Precision Racing League on iRacing. Well, the son of Dallas Pascal was able to win the championship in his rookie year, and the defending champion, the one of James O'Brien, did finish second place right behind him. The 6 of Mattox third, the 6 of Charles Paradis fourth, and the 27 of Duchesne did finish in 5th place. Well, David, has been an amazing season. We have seen a lot of battles throughout. We've seen a lot of heartbreaks due to these drivers, when they get into each other, but they are always respectful, and the racing is always stiff.
Yeah, most definitely. This is a wonderful league. I definitely got to check them out. It's been our pleasure to be able to bring this race for everybody to check them out, showcase their talent. And once again, we will be broadcasting Season 6 with the Precision Racing League. So we will be bringing you more live action starting April 9th here on Dre Broadcasting Network, as we will be re-signing with the Precision Racing League.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the Precision Racing League United Armed Services Oval Series season finale here at Homestead, Miami. And Dave, with that said, let's go over the results for the final time this season.
Well, as you already said, the 7 of Dallas Pataska is going to come away with the win and the season championship. The 1 of James O'Brien is going to finish second. The 6 of Stephen Maddox will round out your podium. The 66 of Charles Paradis will finish in your P4. P5 will be the 27 of Danny Duchesne. The 13 of Jean-Francois Champagne will finish 6th. Dale Robertson in the 3 will finish 7th. Corey Blevins in the 24 machine will finish 8th. The 41 of Chris Perez will finish 9th. And the 8 of Stephen Aguiar will round out your top 10.
The 60 of Cotton Lane will come out in 11th place. The 95 Jeffrey Ford will be 12th. The 911 of John LaBeouf 13th. 092 Dean Stone 14th, the 28 of Eric Roberts 15th, the 9 of Austin Moore 16th, the 21 of Trevor White 17th, 654 Josh Conker 18th, the 18 of Travis Browder 19th, 45 Eddie Hawks 20th, and the 78 of Ronald McManus will be the last car tonight in 21st. Well, this was an amazing race. Once again, thank you for joining us. It has been an amazing season, but don't worry, it is coming back after next week on April 9th when the next season does start. And we do want to congratulate the 7 of Dallas Pataska for winning the season championship. Even with it being his rookie year, his rookie season, he was still able to bring it home. Well, once again, it's a Precision Racing League on iRacing. They have Road Series and Oval Series, so you can join whichever one based on your preferences. And the next broadcast will be on Tuesday night for the Extreme Motorsports Camping World Truck Series for Chase Race number 2, Chicagoland, entitled American Ethanol 225. So we do look forward to seeing you there. I am Sean Zulu and Dave Everly signing out for the final time this season. But we will be back after next week on April 9th. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Drivers, start your meeting. Homestead Racing Magazine is the first and only magazine dedicated to sim racing. Every month we'll be covering the hot topics around the world of sim racing. So if you're looking to be in the know, go to www.motorsimsracing.com. You will find articles from your favorite drivers.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
We got it. Want to learn the basics on finding a perfect league for you? We got it. Want to know more about how leagues are run? We got it. So remember, first you want to know what's going on in the sim racing world. www.motorsimracing.com. So if you're looking to be in the know, go to www.motorsimracing.com. You will find articles from your favorite drivers.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.